Good morning, my friends. This is Saturday, January 28th, day 7 for prepper. Stayed at Around the Bend Hostel last night. As always, Lisa and Gordon are absolutely thebomb.com. Very modern place. Met some wonderful hikers there last night. I met Stargazer. That dude is getting ready to finish up his Sobo through hike, and he does not want it to end. What an amazing young man. And then I met Solid. Solid is through hiking. He is headed to Mount Katahdin just like I am. So got to spend some time with him. He is a solid dude. I'm not sure how he got his trail name Solid, but he is a solid dude. He's married, good dude. Look forward to seeing him out here. We're hiking about the same pace, but unfortunately I've got to get off the trail at least 2 more times. I'm here for 4 days. Gonna hike 3 or 4 days depending on the weather. Today's supposed to be close to 50. Sun's already out. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. It's about 8:30. Lisa from Around the Bend, sorry, been climbing, took me up to Dix Creek. That's where I ended earlier in the week, and 1 mile up the side of a mountain. That's a great way to start off. Just hit the top. My pulse is 126, which is phenomenal. I'm gonna try to go to Standing Indian Shelter tonight. That's about 18 miles. And then Rock Gap tomorrow. If the weather holds up and it's just not a toad strangler, next couple days I'm going to try to make it to the NOC, and that sets me up for starting to eyeball the Smokies, which is very, very tricky to get through in late January and February just because of the elevation and the weather. So we'll see what happens. And so like I said, I had a CT scan done yesterday. Drove 700 miles to Around the Bend Hostel. Got in about 10 o'clock last night. Early morning this morning, back up on the trail. It's only lost a few days. About a 1,400 mile round trip. So by the time I get home for my appointment on the 2nd, I will have driven 5,000 miles to get in the miles that I'm getting so far on the Appalachian Trail. So, but it's worth it. I'm well out ahead of the bubble. I am in Georgia, but only for about 6 or 7 more miles. And I get to cross my first state line into North Carolina. And then tomorrow-ish, I should hit the 100-mile mark, which is a huge milestone. A lot of people have already thrown their shoes in the trees and went home because it's a little tougher than they thought it was going to be. But some of them make it all the way through. So I'm hoping I am one of those that make it all the way through. But back to what I have going on. I have a echocardiogram on the 2nd back home. So I'm out here for 3 or 4 days. Go home, do the echocardiogram, and then follow-up appointment on the 15th of February with my cardiologist. So hoping to get out here on the 3rd or 4th and get through the Smokies, and then back home hopefully just 1 more time, and then I get to live out here full time for 3 or 4 months after that. So looking forward to that. I'll quit rambling. I'm still climbing. I'm doing amazing. Good shout out to my friend Larry and Angela, Suds and Subman. They're gonna bring their RV up to Rock Gap and hang out. And if I'm ready to go back on Monday, I'll ride back to Around the Bend Hostel with them. If I'm not ready and I want to hike one more day, get into the NOC, Subman being as amazing as he is, says, I'll drive back to get you the next day. Suds has an appointment, so they can't stay an extra day. So that's how amazing they have been. Did not know them before, probably October. And they have turned out to be amazing friends, great representatives of how people are on the Appalachian Trail. Larry's hiked it twice, Suds once. Can't say enough good about my friends. Hope to be able to pay it back one of these days. Anyway, I'm rambling. Take care. I love y'all. We'll talk to you later. I think I'm going to have some amazing views for you later today. And the trail provides. Absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful warm day, but you can tell it's been chilly here the last few days. It still has some ice. That's going to be good cold water. Right here on the Appalachian Trail. I don't even have to go off 1/10 of a mile or anything to get it. I hope you all are having an amazing day. I sure am. About 4.16 miles into day 7. Going to be in Georgia in about, I'm in Georgia. Going to be in North Carolina in about 4 miles. I am stoked. Well, hello, beautiful. How you doing? That is Georgia, where I just came from, and I am going into my second state, which is North Carolina. Georgia, we've had fun, but I'm glad you're behind me. Let's talk about Georgia a little bit. It is not OSHA approved. A lot of hazards. Got to really watch where you put your feet. Let me preface this by saying I am having the absolute time of my life. I'm 7 days in. Well, I'm working on my 7th day. And I'm about halfway into my hike today. I think I'm, well, a little over, right at 9 miles in from Dix Creek. Going to Stand-In Indian Shelter tonight. Putting in some pretty big miles. But anyway, let me tell you, Georgia, I have had the time of my life. But unlike the other YouTube videos, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. That was hard. And I'm in shape. How people show up out here and do this blows my mind, but it gets done every single year. I don't know of any doctors or physical therapists that would recommend anybody showing up to start a hike without being in some sort of shape. If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably do a little more cardio. But I have worked my tail off since last August, September. And I'm glad I'm in shape because it's been tough. You're either going up a mountain or down a mountain. There's very few switchbacks and there's very few ridge walks. But it's absolutely one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. You just have to be mentally prepared. Headphones. I went the first 6 full days with no headphones because I really wanted to pay attention to what I was doing and enjoy nature. But I'm out here by myself and it got pretty lonely. So today, I'm going to turn the volume down, put in one earbud, and it has made the day fly. Listen to some podcasts, listen to some music that my friend Heather, who's also a massage therapist, sent to me, and it has made the day go a lot faster. So anyway, I am glad to be in North Carolina. I'm glad to be out of Georgia. I'll be even more happy to get to Mount Katahdin. But let me tell you, this is one of the most amazing things I have ever done. I came from there, and I'm going there. And you guessed it, I am climbing a mountain. Take care. Hello, North Carolina. I came from that way, and let me tell you, so far, North Carolina, you're just as cracked out as Georgia. I'm going straight up the side of a mountain already, and I just got into North Carolina. But it's all good. I'm having the time of my life, but I am climbing. I want y'all to look at just how much work goes into maintaining this trail. All volunteers. Every bit of these pieces of wood were put here by a volunteer so we can hike the Appalachian Trail. They don't get paid a dime for what they do. So I want to thank them every time I can. And I have seen several out here working. One guy, I bet he was in his 80s with a pick clearing out a waterway across the trail so it wouldn't keep washing it out. So absolutely amazing. Here's some of the stuff that's not so OSHA approved. That's quite a little step right there. But that's the only way you can get there. Came from there. I'm in North Carolina, baby. Nothing could be finer than to be in North Carolina. And I'm here. I think I'm like 80 miles into the trail. Something like that. Great views all the way around me. Through the trees. I think I'm getting ready to come up on a beautiful spot. I'll check back in a minute. It's been absolutely beautiful all day. Getting closer up here to Muskrat Shelter. That's where I was going to stay tonight, but I think since I just have 4 days to hike, I'm going to try to get in 60 or 70 miles. So I'm going to go another 5 or 6 today past Muskrat. But anyway, get up on top of this mountain, above 4,000 foot. I'm not all the way to the top yet. I think when I have a photo opportunity here before long, you start seeing some of the leftover snow at 4,000, 4,200, 4,300 foot. So temperature dropped a little bit, but it's beautiful hiking weather. It's been in the 40s all day long. Started off a little cool, but let me tell you, usually when you're at a gap, that's where you usually start from, and you're almost guaranteed to have a mile-long mountain to climb up to warm up. So you start off cold or a little chilly, not super uncomfortable. That way you're not stopping every 10 minutes and shedding clothes before you get to the top. So I always have a base layer. I don't know why I started wearing a t-shirt and then a sun hoodie on top of that, but just kind of comfortable, and keep one tucked in so my pack don't ride in the wrong spot. And then I have a Cooey mid layer. I mean, it is as warm as most fleeces I've ever worn, and the fleeces are usually really thick. But my Cooey probably weighs 6 or 7 ounces, and so I usually have it on in the morning. And actually, I'm almost 10 miles in, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit earlier. So about a mile ago, right after the North Carolina-Georgia border, I took it off. So now I'm just into my t-shirt and my sun hoodie and loving life. Well, I need to get my poles down. As you can tell, I'm starting to go down, and this looks a little treacherous. Talk to you later. Well, sometimes when you see a blue blaze, you should pay attention. Little sketch coming down here, but you're getting ready to see why I'm trekking down here in the ice. It's not like it's a 75-foot drop off there, or I'd be a little more concerned. Sometimes it's just worth taking a blue blaze. Bam! And that's why you can take a blue blaze sometimes, because just climbed probably the hardest mountain that I've climbed so far in the first 80 miles. Right after the North Carolina border, climbing up to Muskrat Shelter. Larry told me I would have probably one of the best views on the AT. You can't see them, but those mountains go on forever and ever and ever. Absolutely amazing. I could stay here all day. So let me tell you what's going on. The white elephant in the room. I had a CT scan done yesterday morning at 7:30. I have another echocardiogram due on the 2nd, so I was just going to stay home and go out and walk and do stuff that didn't count towards any mileage or anything, just stay in shape. And I called my wonderful son, and he was going to be out of town this weekend, and my daughter Ella, who's a rock star, said, "Sure, Dad, I'll come stay at the house so you can go live your dream and hike." So she's there with the animals, and then DJ will come back in Monday, so I'm heading back home the 2nd. So I had a CT scan done yesterday, and I'm driving, and I get about halfway to where I'm going in Georgia, and I look at my phone, and it's a 417-820 number, and I know exactly who that is. That is Mercy Hospital. And I'm thinking, well, crap, I'm gonna have to turn around and drive all the way back home. This may not be good. So I answer the phone, and what's even more scary is, "Mr. Swanson, this is Dr. Goldburn, and I've been looking at your results, and most of your arteries are fine, but you have coronary artery disease, and I have a team looking at the results, and I don't think you're going to require a stent or open heart surgery, but we need to get you on Plavix and an aspirin as soon as possible." And he said, "We'll know more after they do the echocardiogram on the 2nd. So I'm coming back home for the echocardiogram, then I'm hoping to turn around and come right back here and hopefully get through the Smokies. And then I have a follow-up visit with him on the 15th. But he said I have moderate coronary artery disease. So I believe if the Appalachian Trail don't kill me, it may have saved my life, because I don't think I would have been working out so hard in October as to where I passed out. And that started this journey. And I almost blew it off and came out here and started hiking. What I actually did 2 days before January 1st. Then I kind of had a panic attack thinking, what if something happens? And so I came home and made an appointment. So I've driven about 5,000 miles by the time I get back this time to get in the first 120 miles of the Appalachian Trail, but it's been worth it. But I'm trying to be safe and actually go through and do what I'm supposed to do. So I'm sure my doctor would be a little freaked out if he knew I was out here on the Appalachian Trail, but he did tell me I could exercise. So anyway, I'm out here to walk 40, 50, 60 miles, head back home, and then hopefully after the 15th of February, I'll be out here full time, heading north to Mount Katahdin. You can see the beauty, but I can feel it, and it's just unbelievable. Take care. So that's kind of an update. Beware of that mountain right after the North Carolina-Georgia state line, because it is a booger. It's probably the hardest one I've done so far. Take care. I've got about 5 or 6 more miles to go, so I need to get some hiking. Take care. Enjoy the video. I wanted to give you a little update after that last video. I said Plavix, but I meant Lipitor, so he's going to get me on Lipitor and a baby aspirin. He's already called it in. I stopped yesterday before I got to where I was going and actually got the baby aspirin, so I'll start the Lipitor when I get back. Not a big traditional medicine kind of guy. I do have a holistic doctor at Dr. Poppy's office. They are absolutely amazing. And she's the one that told me that I needed to see my traditional doctor, cardio, and get this figured out. And I'm being real careful because I just noticed that looks a little slippery. So I'm going down, and it's a little tricky going down. It's much easier coming up. So anyway, so I see her on the 2nd as well, and then I have my echocardiogram done. So I'm sure she'll agree that Lipitor maybe and the baby aspirin is the right method. But if you catch it soon enough, which I have, it sounds like, unless something else comes up, your diet plays a big part in it. Exercise. I think I'm getting plenty of exercise. But most of us have some blockage in our arteries. And they don't start getting worried about it until it gets up there pretty high. 50, 60, 70%. It's something we all deal with. But my cholesterol's high. I think the Lipitor is supposed to help that. And the baby aspirin's supposed to thin my blood a little bit. So I'm kind of anxious to see what's happening, but it was kind of freaked me out a little bit, you know, getting a call from the doctor. I was expecting his nurse or something, but could be much worse. Need to really watch my diet. I did have a brother who died at the same age I am now with 2 100% clogged arteries. So maybe this was way God said, wake up and start taking better care of your body. So I think I got a warning shot. So we'll see. I'll quit rambling. The sun's coming out. It's a little snowy up here on top of this mountain. So 5 or 6 miles left to go. And I think I'm going to be in good shape. Take care. About to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I'm coming down the other side of that mountain, and it's pretty slippery. I probably shouldn't be videoing, but I want to show you guys a little bit of the fun and the adventure out here. Just promise, do not laugh if I fall on my butt. But it's steeper than it looks, and it's packed down ice and snow. You never know what you're going to get on the Appalachian Trail. I've been walking in the sunshine today, stripped down to the base layer, and then started climbing this mountain. And this has a whole weather system of its own. So, all right, I want to get my trekking poles back out in front, and I need to get moving. I just looked, I have 6.2 miles to go to Standing Indian shelter. So, it's gonna be a 17, 18 mile day, I think. Take care. Just need a little bit of water. Back in the green tunnel. That is cool. Five miles to go. Just past Muskrat Shelter. So today I'm doing Dix Creek to Standing Indian. 17, 18 miles. So I'm starting to get tired. Had a crazy climb. As soon as I got into North Carolina, it welcomed me. But it was probably the toughest one I've climbed so far. But at that point, I was 10 miles into my hike, so I'm sure it has something to do with being tired. But it was a bear. But the view at the top was absolutely beautiful. Take care. I'm trying to beat the darkness to the shelter. Good morning, everybody. January 29th, I believe. Hooked up with a wonderful guy at the hostel the other day at Round the Bend Hostel. Trail name is Solid, and he is a solid dude. We are going to shoot for 20 today, fairly close to 20. Standing Indian to Rock Gap, and we both did 17 yesterday. He started 4 hours after I did. Came in the dark only 2 hours after I did, so he's liable to kick my butt today, but I'm gonna try to hang. Anyway, I'll check in later. Earliest I've been on the trail, 6:15 a.m. official start time. We are 1 mile up the side of a mountain. 19 more to go. Have a good day, my friends. Mother Nature, baby! That's amazing. Absolutely beautiful. We're already 5 miles in. Started before daylight this morning. And this is what you deal with. Say, hey, Solid.
Hey, guys.
This is a big old blowdown that we're getting ready to go over. I'm sure I'm not going to do it near as graceful as he did. But here we go.
I don't care.
Day number 9, day number 8, January 29th. Hooked up with Solid at the hostel, and then we both hiked 17 or 18 yesterday to standing Indian shelter. Now we're going to Rock Gap, about a 20-mile day, 19 or 20. So we hit the 100-mile mark here in just a little while. This is why we climb for the 1000th time. It doesn't do it justice, but it is beautiful. Was it worth the 10-foot side trail? Heck yeah! Look at that. Mountains, baby, mountains. For days. That is.
This is what it's all about right here. I mean, there's a lot that it's all about, but this is like one of them.
Hanging up here with my new buddy, Solid, and we are hiking together today, and we are having a blast. It's supposed to rain all day long, and I think we've had 14 sprinkles. Life is good. We are climbing Albert Mountain, point 3. Crazy rock scrambles. I think it's going to get even crazier here in a little bit. Point 3 up to the 100-mile mark in North Carolina, or of the Appalachian Trail. It just happens to be in North Carolina. Crazy. This is going to be some of the most technical rock climbing so far. Nothing like Pennsylvania, they say, but still pretty cool for 0.3 miles straight up the hill. Right up there, here I go.
You're on. Rock scrambles. Prepper going for it. My God. This is awesome. You got this.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah. Almost. There you go. Oh yeah. Look at him go. Professional right there.
There you go, baby.
All right, man.
Here's the brain. That one's kind of loose right there. I feel like that's a better option than going through there. Yep. Looks a little narrow there. There goes Solid. That's his trail name. That doesn't look safe. This is not OSHA certified, by the way.
Not OSHA certified, sir.
I'm coming up right after. We are getting closer to the top, but these rock scrambles are crazy.
Oh, the views up here are amazing.
He said, I got a good view.
Oh my gosh. Okay, calm down.
We are on top of the world, baby. We are on top of Albert Mountain, and Prepper and Solid. Yep, you got it. We're gonna climb that tower. That was a fun day. We're about 15 miles into a 20-mile day, and we have just had a blast. It's fun finding somebody that you can relate with and hike with, and he's awesome. I can see how lifelong relationships are formed out here with people you hang out with. There it is, baby. 100 miles, official 100 miles of the Appalachian Trail. I'm not 100% sure it's exact, but it's pretty darn close. This is what everybody considers. So we got a view from up here like none other. And it's still foggy. You can't really see it. But as I've said a million times, it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to the top. We'll report from up there.
Open your wild eyes, live life like a wildfire burn.